Hey everybody, and welcome to the next issue of Smashified. I'm Chris Szczesiul, and I'm also here joined with... Introduce yourselves, guys.
This is Omni. You know me, I'm Omni. And also joining us, we have the musician who did the music that you're listening to now. His name is RetroSpecter. You might have seen him around on YouTube. Hi Retro.
Hello.
So, yeah, Rool.
Yep, here we are. Super highly requested character. Definitely one of the top ones. Had to do it, had to be done, had to be my first one. I hope you guys enjoy it.
How about that being your first one? Was it pretty tricky doing that scale texture?
Yeah, we spent a lot of time on that. Just talking about it even, and then like going back and forth. That was like one of the biggest parts of this, because these mostly scales. You break it down to scales, cape and the, gem, or not gem, well there's the gem too, but also the gold. So I was just breaking it down between materials, but personally, what took the longest was just kept trying to match the style that you had, Still not perfect at it. It's going to take me a little bit, but hopefully...
Yeah, that's part of what makes this helpful is because, before I had seen any of your Smash, like you hadn't really done anything in the Smash style, so this was definitely helpful for the learning process, just trying to figure out how we can collaborate better, and that's hopefully going to improve as we go forward, so...
Oh, totally.
Yeah.
And it definitely is, and you'll see it in the future, but it's going really well, I think. It's this whole process of using paths for everything is just like, it's a little tedious.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
It is. It takes a certain special kind of somebody to do that.
Yeah.
So,
someone crazy, someone who likes punishing themselves. Yeah.
Yeah, it is almost a punishment, but yeah. This is Rool.
It's funny that this is actually the first Nintendo character in the entire series. People have been commenting on that a lot. It's like all of the characters so far have been third parties that probably have zero chance.
Right. Are you gonna do third party characters forever? What are you guys
Yeah. It's kind of funny though how he hasn't been in Smash up to this point, because he's like an iconic villain. He's totally. The Bowser to Donkey Kong. So it's actually a little bit surprising that he hasn't been in at this point.
Yeah. It's funny you say that actually, because some of the fans have been like messaging us on Twitter and stuff like crazily, and they were saying, when you do him, you gotta mention the video. You can't compare him to Bowser. He's not Bowser.
Yeah. Man, Kremlin campaigner on Twitter, you are persistent, man. So shout out to you.
Wouldn't go a day without seeing something from that guy.
Yeah, basically. I don't know how many people run that Twitter, but you guys are good. So.
Yeah. Here he is. Hopefully you enjoy. It's funny too, because we were also talking during the process. We don't see a lot of renders of Rool out there.
No, it's surprising actually how few like really good renders there are, and nothing that really tries to emulate the Smash style. So this was definitely a lot of pressure, because I feel like every time we do these, like this is going to be the one that the internet uses for things. So you got to get it right.
It's funny too, because now with the Smash ballot open and we're putting out these renders to the best of our ability, this character could totally happen now. So we have this now. It's not about me matching Omni's threshold of abilities. It's us trying to live up to what could actually become real. Like Nintendo could totally one day make this, and they'll do probably a better job on this. So we got to make sure.
Yeah, definitely. It's funny. Like when I did DDD for Brawl back in like 2009 or 8 or something like that. I did it before they announced him on the dojo, and it's funny how close I got to the pose that they used, but it's also hilarious how far off mine looked when you actually compare it to the real thing. So
yeah, it's funny, I've noticed that a lot of people in the Smash community do renders like this. I mean 3D renders, and theirs come out kind of like blocky and wonky and not super moving, but then you see Nintendo release Mewtwo and Lucas, and their renders look, it's the same pose, it's just a little more cleaned up. So it's like, I wonder if they're really checking this out,
Yeah, that pose though, with like the outstretched hand and the fist in the other hand, like fist pumping, they've got to stop that. They've done 4 characters using that pose so far.
Yeah, every single character has that fist pump pretty much.
It gets a little redundant.
Yeah. It's hard though to come up with that many unique poses. Like there's a lot of overlap between some of the poses, and frankly it's just difficult to add that much variety when you have upwards of 50 characters to do.
Yeah, that's true.
But so Retro, how was creating the music? Like it's a really interesting twist that you did. It's like a western-y kind of thing.
Yeah. So basically I decided to go for like a western approach, and it's completely different than my normal style of music. Basically, what I normally make, it's a cross between like techno and orchestral.
Mm-hmm.
But I just wanted to, because you know how people, the composers for Smash, they'll do different kinds of styles. Like, I don't know if you guys have heard the King Dedede theme in 4, but it plays like that. It's a very oriental style.
I haven't heard it, I don't think. Where does it play?
I don't remember. I think on the Great Cave Offensive map.
Oh, well, that's why, because I never play that stage.
Yeah, because nobody plays that map.
Who plays that, yeah.
But, yeah, so, I have my own little thing on my channel where I've taken inspiration from Omni, and I'm trying to do the same thing he's doing with his art, but, with music. Mm-hmm. So, I decided to go for a Western approach because there's so many different composers out there that, have all these unique styles. So, I wanted to try out the country style, and it actually sounded pretty good.
Yeah, and one thing that I think is cool is, like, every Donkey Kong Country game there's been, until the new 2 ones on the Wii and the Wii U, but like the original 3, K. Rool takes on a different kind of iteration each time. The original is King K. Rool, and then Captain K. Rool, and then what was the third one? K. Roolenstein or something like that.
Yeah.
But it's funny how it's like a different theme each time, and I kind of imagined when you did this music, it's like, what if they had like a cowboy thing for K. Rool? That would be interesting.
Yeah, like if Retro Studios decided to make another one with K. Rool and there's like a cowboy.
That is some. Like,
I'm really curious too. Like, why haven't they brought him back?
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Like, I guess it's just to distance themselves from like a formula, because I guess if you're under the pressure to always bring back a certain character, then maybe it can get a little bit stale. But and also Retro kind of wants to like identify themselves as something unique rather than trying to just follow in Rare's footsteps. But like, I want him. Even though he's not like the most inspired character design, I still think they could take that design and maybe evolve it to the point where it could be a little bit more.
Oh yeah,
because it was definitely like a Battletoads. Like the Kremlings was like a scrapped Battletoads character design, right? So it doesn't exactly feel like something Nintendo would design, but still, like, I feel like you could bring him into the Nintendo style more.
Maybe it's just a licensing issue.
I don't think it is, because he was in Mario Sluggers, right? So
you're right.
Oh yeah, he was.
So it's not, and he's got trophies in Smash and stuff like that. So I guess it's just Sakurai just not liking the character as much. I mean, Rareware is not a Japanese company, so maybe Sakurai just doesn't like him. I don't know. He seems to be very opinionated when it comes to certain characters.
Yeah, let's do lots of his characters.
Yeah, like Ridley. You know how he feels about Ridley, and there's so many. I shouldn't touch Ridley. That's a bad idea.
That's not.
Subject change.
Yeah. Keep it on this crocodile.
Yeah.
So just to talk about my process real quick, I don't know if you noticed, audience members, I threw in a couple 3D assets that I built and materialized and rendered out myself, such as the cuffs and the cape. Right now the cape is it's not the one we ended up going with, we switched it up. Just to get that same texture, because in the Smash game, they actually do complete 3D renders. Mm-hmm. There might be some tiny paint overs in the end, but it's all like material based and it's all lit and it's all made in 3D. So we just wanted to kind of match that, and especially when it comes to cloth, getting the bumps going, it's just so much easier to get the orientation and everything.
Definitely. Yeah, like I can't imagine trying to do that cape in Photoshop alone, because you'd have to separate like all of these different chunks of texture and then warp them all, it'd be insane. Yeah,
and warp them all to be in like the correct orientation.
Yeah,
like match.
I just draw a square.
It's not super easy.
Yeah, like I typically kind of cheat that with like when I did Banjo's pants. Like I just made a cylinder and I just let the texture fall where it may. It didn't necessarily go with the creases. Yeah, and sometimes I liquefy it a little bit to make it look like it bends a bit more, but
it looked great, honestly. Banjo's came out great. For K. Rool in particular, I wanted to paint the skin though, the scales, because I just figured it'd be interesting to kind of backwards engineer. We talked about backwards engineer, and it was fun. Totally, I kind of got close. I think we got pretty close.
I mean it's tough. Like I imagine trying to recreate that even as a bump map would be challenging in and of itself.
I tried. It was
Yeah, I saw that render you did.
Yeah. Yeah.
One of these days I need to learn 3D, and because I feel like I'd be pretty good at creating textures for things like this, but I don't know, maybe not.
It's kind of funny too, because in upcoming Smashified we're going to get a little more into the 3D. We're going to have a bit more of it around.
Yeah.
And it's funny because some of us have been like throwing it around in your face, and you're just like, I wish I knew what they were talking about.
Yeah. Oh man, all those, it's so much jargon, like subsurface scattering, I understand, stuff like that, ambient occlusion, but then you talk about like UV maps, and then I was looking it up on Wikipedia, like, oh, they're just using UV because X, Y, and Z were already taken. So they need different letters for the other coordinate or whatever. Yeah, I don't even know. But yeah, there's a lot of jargon when it comes to 3D stuff. I hate learning new things because I hate being bad at something at first, even though that's something that everybody has to go through. It's just, usually I was bad at things when I was 12, and I've been doing the same thing for like how many years. So at this point, it's like, well, I can't remember what it was like being bad at a certain thing when it was new because I don't try anything new. So
check this out.
Man, there it is.
That's awesome.
Look at those scales.
Man.
So Omni helped me out a little bit, guys. It wasn't all me.
Only at the end there, and maybe a little bit in the middle. But hopefully we're kind of refactoring our collaboration process so we can go a little bit smoother and stuff like that.
Yeah, because we just want to get the best product we can, like this. Bam!
Yeah,
goes bananas. Nice.
Oh yeah.
There we go. Well, thanks guys for watching this video, and hopefully the next one's going to come out a little bit faster.
It will.
Yeah, I imagine it will. So I hope you guys are looking forward to it. As usual, tweet your requests at Smashified on Twitter. That's the best way to get your vote counted. You can always comment on YouTube and whatnot, but there's no guarantee that it's going to be seen just because there's so many comments. So there's that, and check out Chris's DeviantArt if you haven't already.
Message us all on Twitter. That's always fun. We love seeing that.
Definitely. Just Smashified. Don't flood mine because I actually like talking to people on Twitter.
And make sure you check out Retro's music because it's fantastic.
Definitely do that.
Thank you.
All right, guys. I'll see you guys next time.